Hello, my friends. I'm Michelle, a life designer coach, nutritional therapist, leader in Run Fitness, and host of this wonderful podcast of Inside Out, bringing you wisdom and experiences from inspirational people, fellow entrepreneurs, and from within my own life journey, supporting you around the globe to elevate your health and well-being and achieve the life you want to achieve from inside and out. Now, I have so much love for my listeners. So many of you have reached out to me expressing gratitude for the information shared so far. To which I wanted to say a huge thank you. It is so important to me that I'm providing a service to you all that supports you in your own journey, whatever that may look like. I truly feel love, appreciation for all of you that are supporting me. And I truly want to continue with my life purpose of serving others. Now, a few things happened this week, and that really prompted me to share this week's podcast with you. And I am going to be totally honest with you. This quote that I'm just about to share with you really hit home to me. The quote follows: I wish people knew that just because you haven't healed fully doesn't mean that you aren't in the process of healing. Healing is non-linear and incremental. It really got me thinking as to whether anyone is fully healed. Or is it just over time you understand yourself better? You have a tool set that supports you to ensure your self-worth, that supports you with coping with the trigger points that challenge you throughout your life. When I talk about healing, it does not just mean the healing from experiences such as abusive relationships, but also elements such as grief and loss. I've had 2 miscarriages, and I have found you never ever forget your experiences, but over that time we learn to manage, we cope, and some would say it even gets easier. Now, as always, I'm honest with you, and my listeners know that I have shared with you before that I've come from an abusive family. I have suffered poverty. I'm a person who will continue to recover from disordered eating. However, amongst it all, I found my true purpose in life and reached some sort of acceptance and forgiveness within myself. This creates inner passion to serve others so that they too can fulfill their purpose, regardless of your past, your experiences, and you are deserving of a life, living a fulfilled life. Each and every one of us is here for a specific purpose, even if you don't know until later on in life. I mean, I have undergone various amounts of different therapies, and they have supported me, but it has not meant that I am now this complete free-spirited person and life is always joyous. So let's just reflect back. What is it I'm actually trying to say? What do I mean? The odds of us being born is 1 in 400 trillion. So let me just repeat that so that can sink in. The odds of us being born is 1 in 400 trillion. And therefore, that is something we all need to grab and be grateful for. Equally, we are here for a purpose, which we do not know at the time of being born. And haven't you found that as you go through life, you learn, you try things, but then if it goes the wrong path, sometimes things will happen to just bring you back to that same junction. And what do I mean by when you try things and you may go on the wrong path, you end up being at the same junction? To put it into context, I mean, for me, I went to university to get a degree in physio, thinking that was what I was supposed to do. You know, this textbook life. You're supposed to grow up, get a university degree, a brilliant job, get married, 2.4 children and a car. But once I qualified as a physio, and that experience has immensely helped me in the nutritional therapy and the running coaching and everything else, I actually couldn't get a job within physiotherapy within the UK. And that's how I fell into project management, because I basically Googled graduate schemes. And I've been doing project management for years, but I still have had this nagging feeling throughout these years that it was not right. So like with most things and most people, we go, perhaps it's not the right company. I would change the company and be a success for a few years, and then something else would happen that meant I just felt I still was not fulfilled. So in terms of my trauma and relationship with myself and belief, I just buried it. The trauma coming from an abusive relationship, poverty, disordered eating, I just buried it. I mean, doesn't it happen to everybody? It's just one of those life things. And I phenomenally, throughout my childhood and growing into my 20s and 30s, I just felt lonely and let down. But that was okay, because clearly I was successful, right? You know, I managed to get a good job. I'm successful in the project management, and surely that means that you're successful. You've got the material things. So though I felt this loneliness and let down and this unfulfilled, deep nagging feeling in the pit of my stomach, I would then go, right, okay, let's go and find something that would make me feel better. Exercise, learning a new skill, anything to think I was improving myself and leading a fulfilled life. Isn't that what people do? Don't we reflect at the start of a new year and go, okay, I'm not feeling great in this area of my life, you know, and let's go and meet new people if it's to build relationships, or let's go and learn a new craft and you know, increase like an income by selling stuff. Or it could be that you're going to take up meditation because you want to improve the spiritual side of things. But it would always then come back to some sort of trigger point would happen, and I would be back in the same place of frustration, anger, grief, overwhelm, anxiety, lack of self-worth. So let's just take you back on my journey, and what I am trying to say is I did come from a traumatic background. I did become successful in terms of the textbook of life, getting a good job, having the material things. I did take on therapy and trying to improve and self-learning and self-worth. But something was always amiss, and it could be me feeling overwhelmed. It could have been, you know, seeing like an advert for McDonald's that would always be a trigger point that would send me spiraling back to go, you still have this lack of self-worth, you still don't have your self-trust. I would get overwhelmed, anxious, and I just felt like I was never ever progressing. So my message actually to you today is that life can be a lifelong process of healing as we evolve into new versions of ourselves, and that is okay. What I implore is you take from my experience is not to bury your trauma, because it will find ways to remind you that it's still there, it's lingering in your body, followed by thoughts generated by your mind. Remember, your thoughts do not define you. Your past does not define you. Take time to support your healing process and embrace it, because you may find in the depths of your healing your true purpose, joy and freedom that you haven't experienced before. Healing is hard, but it is liberating, and you deserve freedom from your trauma. I'm a walking example of this, and yet I still feel a beginner. After 37 years of experiencing trauma, I just happened to attend a spiritual retreat with one of my closest friends, and from that day it was released. I had imagery that I took hypnosis from. We desanitized that, and I felt release. I then took a huge leap of faith of going, what does my heart tell me now? And I started my coaching journey. I'm still not 100% fixed, and I don't think I ever will be. But what I do know is that by actually addressing my trauma, actually getting the support and actually really acknowledging it, I now have found my true purpose. I feel free. I feel worthy. I feel that I am here to serve others. And I look at life like the waves of the ocean. You will have periods of time when life is good, then a wave of challenges. Life is like the waves of the ocean. A period of times when life is good, and then you've got challenges. Are any of you experience any of these? Does any of what I've said resonate with you? I'd love to hear. Now, what support can I share with you to start that journey of recognition and change? Because I will bet your bottom dollar that people listening to this now will go, yeah, I've got that nagging feeling in the pit of my stomach. I feel that I'm not there yet. So just take note of some of these points. Don't ignore any prompts from the universe. If the same thing keeps coming up, then acknowledge it, sit with it, and ask what it's trying to tell you. And when I say that, that could be feelings. If the same feeling's coming up, you've gone and started a new job and, you've been happy for a few months, but it's still not there, just sit with that. Listen to that feeling. Really connect with your heart and ask, what is it telling you? Because yes, you can go and change your job, but unless you actually get underneath and fully understand, change job and the same feeling will come back up. Number 2, your past does not define you or your future. Our past has taught us resilience. But recognising it was a journey and letting it go with love allows you to heal and make progress towards where you want to be. I've let go of my past. I have made mistakes. Some I am not proud of, and I have apologised humbly for some of my actions. I have let go of all the people that have abused me. With love. Did they know any different? Did they take any learnings? And just by letting go has allowed me to take that progress of healing towards myself and recognising that I am worthy. So that leads me on to point number 3. Be kind to yourself and truly understand what triggers you. For me, enjoying food and being with loving people always had led me to be unkind to myself and saying I have failed as I am not worthy of this enjoyment. Equally, my mother's overeating and general habits, spending money she does not have and expecting me to pick up the pieces, always sent me on the wrong frequency. So over the course of life, there will be events that come and go that will challenge you to stay in the frequency of positivity and not send you into the past. Really sit down, reflect and recognise what are your triggers. We can work on strategies to help you get through them. One of my main strategies for anxiety and making decisions is actually connecting with my heart and really listening to my heart. My heart is constantly with me. My heart will always be the one that guides me. And if that resonates with you, then please just take a few moments each day just to sit, hand on heart, listening to its beat, and remember it's always there, full of love. Number 4, recognise that you are worthy and set boundaries. Your mindset is everything in how we view ourselves, our environment, and the people we're with. Set boundaries with people and with yourself. Make your self-care as a priority. Say no to commitments that do not serve you and establish boundaries within relationships. Just as a random example, if your mother always talks about your weight and you don't feel comfortable and she wants to meet up with you, then say, I'm happy to have a chat, meet with you, but please can we not talk about my weight? Above all else, connect with your heart, as that's your biggest guide for true happiness. Gain a support network to help define the end goal, your purpose. Our purpose can change in life, or we can have a number of purposes. For example, my purpose is to be a mother, my purpose is to serve others, yet my end goal is to be able to be grounded and present and embrace my emotions so that I can be the best version of me. I have learnt strategies, but I could not have been clear on my purpose, goal and journey without the support of my friends, my mentor, my coaching cohort. And I have immense love and gratitude to a soul sister who championed me to start the Inside Out podcast and my coaching services. I have never regretted taking that leap of faith. Another quote that resonated with me is sometimes wellness looks like realising you don't have to defend yourself against those who are committed to misunderstanding. This is so true because we will always come up with those that don't understand. But at the end of the day, the most important relationship you have is the one with yourself. I'll repeat that again. My final word is at the end of the day, the most important relationship you have is the one with yourself. So my friends, I hope that you have enjoyed our discussion on riding the waves of life. If you like this episode, be sure to subscribe to the show, share and follow me on social media. And as always, I thank you for listening. I am grateful we have connected, and remember, always elevate your health, elevate your well-being to achieve the life you want to achieve.